Welcome back. I'm Daron Vaught, and this is your Emory Henry Reports feature interview. With me today, an Emory Henry student, Ricky Powers, who is a Marine veteran. He said he didn't want to be called a veteran because it made him sound old earlier, just before we came on. But Ricky, welcome to the show.
Thanks. Nice to be here.
And so you were a part of, your unit rather, was a part of 2 tours in the Middle East. Is that correct?
Yes. My first tour was in actually 2004. I was 18. I went over in February in Iraq, and I was there for like 7 months, and yeah, it was crazy, ridiculously hot, and my unit was actually I was in a reserve unit out of Gray, Tennessee. Is a Lima Company, 3rd Battalion, 24th Marines. It's an infantry unit. And that was actually the first tour that they had been on since Desert Storm.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, so that's a big span right there. And our mission really was just convoy security, and we did just basic operations in Al Anbar province. It's about 7 miles where I was at. I was at Al Taqaddum. It was one of Saddam Hussein's biggest air bases he had, and it's about 7 miles. I'm not sure east or west where it was at in location, but it's pretty close to Fallujah, and so there was all kinds of activity over in the area. But it was a good experience. It's scary, but it was a good experience.
Yeah, I know you mentioned it was crazy. Just how crazy? What kinds of things would you see on a day-to-day basis?
Well, I can tell you this: within my first 2 weeks I was there, I got shot at twice, and yeah. A couple explosions here and there. There was always constant explosions, usually from indirect fire from mortars. Just someone would be up on the mountaintop lobbing mortars, and just here and there. I mean, really no damage would be done anywhere because it'd be really far off. But it's crazy though. Yeah, it just became like a regular thing. You'd hear explosions every day.
So I know a lot of people, I myself, there are no service members in my family, so I'm sort of unfamiliar with just the process, the daily basis sort of thing. When you weren't getting shot at, what types of things were you doing?
Well, they had like nice workout facilities, had some nice gyms and whatnot, and they'd have what they call the MWR tents and stuff. You could go like play Xbox or something if you wanted to, watch a movie. They just had like all kinds of like board games and stuff like that, just extra things like that to occupy you.
So is that essentially it? You take the highs and the lows. It's a lot of high time and a lot of downtime.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it evens out, and it's an odd but cool experience too. You know, it's hard to describe really.
So you mentioned your second tour. How did it compare to your first?
Oh, it was crazy easy compared to the first tour. It was during the drawdown, so you know our activity was like minimal. We were doing basically the same missions like convoy security, except we weren't really in the armed aspect. I mean, during the first tour, you could walk around with your magazine just loaded, or you could have a round in your chamber in your rifle. But in this one, you had to ask permission pretty much for anything like that, even if you were riding around in vehicles. But it was really calm, the second tour, and you could definitely tell that there had been some changes in the area.
What kinds of changes? Is that more of a leadership thing on your unit's part, or what was it?
I think it's just the overall the atmosphere. I mean, usually we rolled down one of the roads. It was one of the main supply roads that back in my first tour you could have got blown to pieces pretty much there. But this time we didn't have any problems at all. I mean, and there was in my battalion there was multiple convoys that would go down that, and there was only like one instance that I can remember where there was any problem, but we didn't have any problem at all.
So Ricky, we've talked about the soldier Ricky, now I'm gonna take a second to talk about the student Ricky. First off, how's it feel to be back? Is it weird at all?
No, it's awesome. I know that. I'm just ready to get things rolling. You know, it's taken me so long to get through school and everything, just because of my military deal. But I'm happy to be getting things rolling, graduate in the spring. So it'll be awesome.
Now tell me this: have your experiences overseas, have they affected what you want to pursue academically?
No, not really. I'm majoring in geography and environmental studies, and I've always been interested in the sciences. I've always had like an interest in that, and even when I joined the military, I mean, that was always a part of me, and I would try to incorporate it sometimes when I was doing anything. We'd go out and we'd hunt for like the horny toads and stuff like that, snakes when we'd be out. But no, I mean, it really hasn't affected me. Just with the military, you gain just more discipline. You become more mature when you go in. When you're younger, I mean, it just basically forces you to be more mature to when you're in, because you really have no choice.
Yeah, I know you said when you went in you were 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Just talk about some of the strides you've made just intellectually. Obviously, back then you're a kid, you don't really know what you're getting into. But talk about here now, what you wish you could have known then.
Well, it's just it's a whole other thought process. I mean, compared to now. There's just a lot of things I really didn't think about back then, you know. I really didn't know what I wanted to do, really, when I was 18. I don't know many people who do, but yeah, it's hard to explain. But I can definitely sense the maturity, you know, since then. And when I went on my second tour, I could tell, you know. When I got back, I was like, I'm getting old. I feel old.
Right. Well, anyways, we're glad to have you back. We certainly appreciate everything that you've done, Ricky. And with that, we're going to send you over to this week's Out and About. Ricky Powers, your feature interview.